Here we are with another Friday Night Live Zoom. And away we go, August 13th, 2021. Let's see if this thing is working here. Here we are. Seems to work. Alrighty. We are away with family today again. And let's see if anybody is on here. Hopefully everybody's doing freaking amazing. Got a little bit of sun yesterday. A little bit too much for the first time in a couple of years. I haven't had any sun. It's pretty intense, falling asleep in the sun. How's everybody doing? Everybody's outside partying around the fire. Fire is best company. If you ever sat around an open fire, it's just awesome. Sitting out around an open fire, nothing like being around a fire. It never complains, and they'll listen to anything you have to say. So that's a good therapy if anybody needs to deal with emotions, sit around a fire, even a candle flame, and just talk to it. It will listen, and it'll have the patience of the universe to listen to you. And dissolve everything to where it back, to bring it back to where it came from through the flames of creation. How you doing, Christina? Everything okay? I think it's all working. Seems to be. You know, it's living a fasting lifestyle has been quite a ride for so long. It's I really don't see many people grasping onto it as a lifestyle. It's been 31 plus years, and what we mostly see is people looking for drama, events, stimulation, et cetera, instead of grasping the lifestyle as a first and foremost spiritual lifestyle. It's kind of sad to some degree, but we all have free will to choose our ways, and nobody can tell us what to do, because at the end it's our own free will that decides how we will go about our lives. Christina, big love to you, Gino. Big love to you, Christina. You know, the amazing magic that we've seen with fasting is beyond words and comprehension. The saying is, if it cannot be fixed through fasting, it cannot be fixed. That's pretty deep, because with our new understanding, everything can be fixed. So if it can't be fixed, what kind of a problem or challenge would that be? That it can't be fixed through fasting. And when we look at modern sciences, that's where humanity's moving towards more and more, even though the results have been disastrous. They've been fighting cancer for how long now? How many decades? War on cancer. And it's not gotten any better. It's actually gotten worse, because it's all fiction. Diseases are fiction. The whole frickin' mainstream science is gatekeeping of knowledge. It sways us in ways of deception to remove our true power and essence of divine creation. So we have a few more minutes if anybody's got any questions, or I'll go sit by the fire. I got a couple of questions, but I need 5 minutes to get ready. Sure, take your time, Christina. I used to have tons of questions for all the different sciences, and every time I heard answers, I wasn't satisfied. Didn't have any zing to my inner being. And when I started asking questions to spirit, to my soul, going within, I started getting real answers. Real answers that we cannot find anywhere else. That's why we keep saying that I don't have any answer for anybody, but you have your answers. Just go within and keep going with it. And don't let nobody stop you, no matter what. Stick to your truth. Stick to the truth of divine wisdom. Divine wisdom has its essence in each and every one of us. That's why we say plasma love always flowing. That breath of divinity flows through each and every one of our hearts. We just need to tap in. It's an amazing place to be when you tap into that and you discover the answers have always been in plain sight, because they always are. Nothing is hidden from us. There's veils put over us through deception to steer us away from our inner wisdom. And we see that today more than ever in probably human history. How the deception has taken over. Master of deception, that energy that moves in the opposite direction of peace, balance, correct conduct. And many of us humans have fallen for it. Hello.
How
How you doing?
Good. How are you doing?
Very well, thank you.
Yeah, you were in a nice cabin somewhere, huh?
Yeah, we're with family.
Oh, I see. Yeah, when you said all the answers are within, I was like, oh, maybe I should not ask any questions then.
Well,
A good Zen master is the one that makes students not to ask any questions anymore. So I think we are getting there.
yeah, no, the thing is that, we can all share our experiences, and that comes the wisdom where we can reflect and steer ourselves in the direction to find our own answers.
Mhm.
That's the way I see it. I don't because all our paths are very similar. Um, what thousands of people we've guided have gone through the same similar things. So it helps us move in the direction of understanding. But honestly, the true understanding comes when we go through the experiences ourselves, and that's when our true answers show up. And they may be similar to things that we've experienced for sure, but it's always best to go through those experiences and find what we've been looking for, because
Mhm.
the spiritual path is I don't want to say lonely path, but you will be it's not a popular path, that's for sure. It's because you're never alone, all one. You're always connected to divine spirit, even if you're alone. So lonely is another deception. No such thing as lonely. And just like I was talking about earlier, being in company of a fire, you're not alone. You know, being in a company of nature itself, you're not alone. Hello, Oscar, how you doing? So um, the path of choosing a lifestyle that, we keep saying peace, balance, correct conduct, is not something that's been popular for a very long time on this planet. It's a lot of opposite to that. Humans have been we humans have been destroying this planet, plundering it and killing each other for a long, long time. So until we decide to change that and be that change, nothing's going to happen, and we'll continue on this path. But I truly believe that we're coming to the point where humanity is becoming more and more enlightened, but it's always darkest before dawn. So a lot more darkness, I believe, we'll be experiencing over the next several months, maybe a few years, until some people get shaken out of their boots, so to say. Um, that's traditionally how humanity has responded to these situations. Um, the masses, mob rules mentality always goes in the direction of away from divine providence. You always have the few that stick to their guns in truth and continue on that path to enlighten the rest of humanity. That's what the past has always shown us. So humans have, with all the knowledge that we see that we haven't learned anything because we continue to go down the same paths.
Yeah.
But fasting lifestyle is a simple lifestyle, very simple, and it has profound consequences when we choose that. And
Mhm.
profound consequences are all positive. I've not seen anything negative come out of a fasting lifestyle. It's always when we choose to go back to food is when the challenges come up again. Oscar, when we are lonely, we are actually not, because then we are together with the lonely people. We just do not see them. Absolutely.
And with all what's happening in the world is like, as you say, there are some people that are just like, you just know on a deeper level what's going on. And sometimes my partner asks, well, where do you get all of your conspiracy theories? And I'm like, I don't know. I just know it on a deeper level. Oh, he's like, oh, you'll continue living under your rock. I'm like, okay, but you just know, like so deep down, like you don't even need to read anything. You just know what's going on. I mean, not the full extent, maybe, but still.
The devil is in the details. We don't need details.
Yeah. So, Gino, if you don't mind, I have a bit of like a bit down to earth matter related questions.
Yeah, Oscar, intuition, absolutely.
Yeah, intuition. So I have this thing that prior my menstruation days, I get super hungry and I crave for like meat and like I normally don't eat meat, but like I crave meat and I crave all of these things. And it's like basically a week before. And when the period starts, then the cravings go away. So would you mind maybe commenting if you have anything from the experience of many years working with people and how to, what would be
Yeah.
a good place
No,
to work with that?
yeah, cravings are common when we start fasting, from sometimes from things that we haven't eaten in a long time. Um, because these obstructions are bound within the physical, mental, and emotional bodies. And as we fast, these things start coming to the surface and we experience them again. So that's why we start craving them as they're moving out. We go through that experience again. So we just use the tools to help us go through those challenges and understand what it is. They're not true cravings. It's just um, all this stuff coming to the surface, and it's very, very common. So don't pay any attention to it, but use whatever tools you need to help you. Essential oils, breath work, doing something you love, keeping busy. Enemas, number one, right? Breath work. Whenever these things happen, that will help to help move it out, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Mm. But that's more prior the what I realized throughout my menstrual cycle and just prior the menstruation.
Well, what's menstruation?
I don't, well,
It's purging, right?
okay.
It's purging.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is on from my knowledge, what I know, it's releasing. You
Yeah.
release
So
emotionally, physically.
women have the advantage of doing that, have that purge every month. Um, so what we found is that when women choose to live, fasting, clean eating lifestyle, minimal eating, many of them lose their periods completely, and they're still ovulating and everything, and they can still have children, but no more menstruation cycles. They're done with that. So, what does that tell you? Is it natural? It's common, but it's not natural. Common
Mm,
is not natural.
that's very
just like
interesting,
just like
actually.
these days, obesity's become common. It's not natural, you know, and so many other things that the modern man has put himself into these situations that are all common these days, but not natural.
So you're saying that menstruating is not natural for women because of the lifestyles we live,
Exactly.
and this is where we have an opportunity to cleanse a bit more than men, so to speak, right? In a
Yeah.
way, like,
Yeah. Well, average, if you look at women generally, they live longer than men in mostly all cultures. So that's
hmm,
one of the, could be one of the things. I don't know if that is, but it could be one because they're able to purge every month on that level. I don't know, but it is definitely a purge.
hmm.
Um,
It's because maybe a women like a carriers of the new life, the baby, so they have kind of maybe genetically this opportunity to cleanse their bodies.
yeah, yeah. The physical body has to be in a good state to grow a baby in for 9 months.
Hmm.
So there's that purge that happens every month.
Okay.
So it can
And
create.
there's this a lot of in the wellness world, this eat for your hormones. And then they say, oh, eat this in this phase, eat that this in this phase, eat fat before and eat avocados. So for your hormones, if so to speak, you need to feed your hormones. So I think it's another fad that's just,
It's another
going.
theory.
Mm,
It's always about all theories are always about addition, that there's something missing, right? You need to eat, you need to do this, you need to do that, you need vitamin, mineral, amino acid, fat. Okay, that's their theory. I don't have that understanding anymore. I used to be on that uh, belief system, but what we found and the evidence we've seen is the absolute opposite, because only the body can feed, hydrate, purge, build, balance, and heal itself through soul from source. So if the body can do all that, why do we need anything? We don't. It's just our belief systems in the way, and our social behaviors and people we hang around with, which keeps us from going down those paths of connecting to soul and having that wonderful experience of soul working in autopilot to do everything it needs to make your body can create anything it needs. It can create all the fat it needs, amino acids, elements, vitamins. Doesn't matter what it is, the body will create it. When we start taking these things in as food, then the body stops making them because it relies on your eating habits. Right.
mm,
Just like give a quick example, when people with diabetics start doing insulin, the body stops making insulin because
mm,
they're taking it in from a different source. So the pancreas shuts down. So same thing with food. Generally, it always works that way. Um, and you know we can reverse all that very easily through purging and fasting lifestyle. And then the body starts clicking in because we are able to clear out the plasma vacuum tube, because that's where everything happens through with field interactions, and the body creates whatever it needs. The parathyroid and the thyroid, it uh, converts elements. Uh, so if the body is short on a certain element, it will use elements in the body that are there to create elements it needs, because the body is always, it's made up of many elements. And if there isn't anything that it can use, it will create it out of fields.
mm. And the more obstructed we are, the less soul can actually manifest through this physicality. So this is why we need to fast to let go of obstructions, and then the soul can do
That's
the
my
work, right?
understanding. And yeah, it, when we're obstructed, things don't work. We've seen the evidence so many times. People purge, body starts regenerating. I've watched and myself experimented with herbs, through eating. It's very limited what happens with herbs when you're eating. Very limited. You'll see some people will benefit from them more than others, but it's always a plateau happens with herbs, and you don't see anything happen anymore. When you start fasting, a whole different ballgame with herbs. Then you really see the magic happen. because their spirit's working with your spirit and allow the body to do whatever it needs to do. They really help open up things energetically that are stagnant and blocked. And once they start flowing again, things they start restoring. It's really that basic and that simple. Like just there's a post somebody made about her daughter losing hair, and look at all the responses from so many people about addition, 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 addition. This doesn't even feel like the Masterfast realm anymore. People don't read anything. That's what I come down to. They just don't read. They don't have any interest. Generally, most people don't have no true interest in their own health. They just read some stuff here and there, what they've been told, and that's what they go by. They don't do enough investigation and research and experiment on their own.
Or they eat garbage and then they get sick and then they go to the doctor and say, fix me now. I want to be fixed. Give me a pill.
Or go to the health food store or their naturopath. They'll give you something, naturally to fix you. Same thing, no difference.
But I guess it's the step in the journey as well. Like, I mean.
Yeah, like I said, we don't have all the answers, but boy, oh boy, the stuff we've seen is just miraculous. And if it can't be fixed through fasting, it can't be fixed. So that's why I believe in fasting so much, because of what I've experienced in all these years and what I've seen others go through a fasting experience. It's just mind-boggling, the things that we've witnessed. So when people start bashing fasting, they just have no clue of what they're talking about. And these are usually people that may have tried fasting as an event for a short period or a longer period of time, and just got into a fear cycle through other people's opinions, and especially when people start losing weight, and then they've let go of fasting for the rest of their lives. A lot of people, they get into that fear mode, and they go back to addition like crazy, like more than ever. I've seen that happen so many times.
Yeah, that's my case. I lost a lot of weight, and the more I fast, the more I lose the weight.
Yeah, but that doesn't happen forever. So many of us that have, lost tons of weight, as the years go by, then you don't lose as much weight, and it's just the way it is. It's because the body's able to work on the fields. We're carrying around so much extra waste that people think is normal, a healthy weight. We don't really even know what a true normal weight is, because society in generally, everybody eats, and they eat all the time, every single day.
Yeah.
So fasting society is, I haven't seen one. If we maybe go back to Aboriginal times, when they lived on the land, I'm sure they went through times where they couldn't find food for days or maybe weeks, and that was a normal part of their life, right? Fasting would be normal part. And these people were built like tanks. They weren't overweight, but they were, very strong, muscular, lean, and mean. No diseases in sight. Perfect teeth, perfect hair. They lived by the laws of nature, and they didn't eat every day, I can assure you.
So I have another question about enemas and colonics. So I can access colon hydrotherapist maybe once a week or every 2 weeks. Like, I'm sorry, that's my calendar. It depends. It depends of her availability. So which day would you say would be the best to have the colonics then? Is it the first day of the fast, or the last day of the fast, or the mid of the fast? Like, because that's the most complicated, most expensive thing that you need to go get and adjust your schedule.
Usually a good time is any time But
but
to
it's
have the
not
most,
available.
yeah, no, to have the most effect, probably after you break the fast to help things move out of you. So, if you're doing, let's say, level 2 or 3, and you're back on eating, uh, the day you've started eating or the day after.
I see. And then other days that I'm fasting or beginning the fast, I can do enemas.
Yeah, but sometimes the easiest time to do them is during a fast, is what I find. It's much easier on the system to wash out the colon when you're in a fasting state. We're not supposed to be eating really heavy, so it should be easy on us most of the time. So, it's hard to say. Try different times. Try sometimes during the fast, sometimes during after the fast, before the fast. Um, it's it may be a little bit different for everybody on how, depending on what they're eating and so on and so forth. Because myself, we do a lot of colon washing, so um, it's just part of our lifestyle. And it's been for many, many, many years. Um, I don't really um, worry about what's the best time because we're doing it all the time. You know.
I see. Yeah, I just wanted to kind of know. I've been doing a lot of washing, also learning and experimenting and learning about my body in this way, and I'm starting to really like it. So, and since the colon hydrotherapy is not available every day to go, so I'm just trying to find the best time.
Yeah, you don't need to do it every single day with going to get a colonic. If you have available every day, that's okay, but you don't need to. Um, the beauty about it, there's so many ways we can do it through enemas or Colima board or colonic closed system, and all the systems are there to help us move things out. Um, enemas are great, especially when you're traveling. Bring your enema bag with you, and away you go. Every time I've traveled, I always, always, always bring our enema bag. Always.
Hmm. And the way you purify the water, I have a water filter, but I don't have anything yet sophisticated. So I was filtering just water, tap water filtering, just a drip filter, and then I'm adding baking soda to it. And that was and I have like a device that we bought, like that mitigates 5G and charges the water with different frequencies.
There's
So like that. So I just put it next to it. It charges the water. And I put like 20 minutes next to that water. And that was my purification. So I don't know if there are any other method. I've read many methods on the tools, but some of them like purification system is a bit
a
I don't think
simple
I can
shower,
install it.
a simple shower filter, ozone. Like if the water is potable, meaning the government says is drinkable. Okay, it's not the best in most cases, but especially in large cities. But we do the best we can in the situations we're in. We're just using it to wash out, and I've used all the tools available. Like I said, the ozone. You can add charcoal. You can add clay. You can add baking soda. You can add herbs. Many, many, many things you can do. Just try different things. I don't do always the same thing. I change it up all the time.
Mm. And yeah, this is what I've been using, like kidney tea as well, like the one I make kidney tea, and then I was using the herbs.
Yeah.
Mhm. And then I was looking to buy calcium carbonate as well to put that in the water. But there was one interesting experience with the enema. So I've been doing it, the enema, and it was like the old days were very good, but one day it seemed like my colon just swelled and it took the water, but it could not release anymore. Or like I was just releasing them the whole day, like bits by bits. And that was just one day that that happened. And I was wondering if the muscles got stronger or it got inflamed or I don't know. So have you ever had that?
It happens.
What is that? Oh.
Trying to figure out exactly what it is. The body's holding on to the water for whatever reason. Okay, I'll let it happen. Don't freak out. Stay calm, and it'll all come out.
Interesting. So just the body holding the water.
Yeah, like I don't get that as much, but especially when you start fasting, you'll get times like that. There's some people who experience that at a large level when they start fasting. There's many reasons the body's in a very obstructive state and things are not functioning properly. So it's holding on water for whatever reason. Needs to do something with that water. Most people are in a very dehydrated state. And as we know, water is not going to hydrate you. So, but the water is used to help the body move out things because that's what's available. So I wouldn't worry about it. Just breathe into it and just allow the body to release. Women generally hold on to things more as far as being constipated generally. They are they have that challenge more than men average. Not that we don't, but I'm just saying women have a little bit more of that problem. So it's
I can agree.
yeah, time to just release, breathe and let go. Just release things. We don't need to hold on to things that don't serve us. It's uncomfortable when that happens. I've had it happen. It's not comfortable. Just go along your day and it'll come out.
It wasn't that bad. It was just strange because it never happened before. And I was like, oh, okay, well, like, okay. I wasn't feeling bad about it. It was just strange experience. I thought that, like you exercise at a gym and your muscles grow stronger. So I thought my colon got stronger and I was like,
it does get stronger. It does get stronger because you are exercising it with the water, right? The water is like a weight. It makes the colon much stronger. If you ask the average person how many times they move their bowels, some will say, once a day, and some will say once every couple of days, or every 3 days. And, a few will say, a couple times a day. And then you ask them how many times they eat, 2, 3 meals a day, 5 meals a day. And they're only moving their bowel a fraction of the time. Why? Because it's asleep. The bowels should be moving every time we eat.
Yeah. And there's like all of this thing that going on the internet that now because people are not pooping properly, they say, oh, you should not poop after every meal. You should poop every once in a while, and that's normal. And I was like, I never felt that normal. For my body, I would panic. If I don't poop every day, I was like, something is wrong. I need to do something about it.
Yeah, I remember the doctors mentioning to some people that were moving once a week. Oh, that's normal. Normal. Okay, sure. If they say so.
Okay, so I have another question. In the protocol says that you can activate grape juice with the pineapple juice. So is it just a pasteurized, grocery bought pineapple juice?
Yeah, raw or cooked, yeah.
And you just pour a bit and it acts like a lemon too? Or less strong than a lemon?
I think the lemon is a little more powerful, but the pineapple does work. Pineapple, limes, lemons. They work. You can mix them all up.
Okay.
Don't overthink it.
Yeah, I don't overthink too much. I'm just like a who likes to really get to know things, like like a manifestor, a big scope, and I feel much more comfortable than I'm still doing it and learning it. But for me, it's nice to also know things as I'm also interested in that. Not just the superficial something, oh, I just read it there, so that must be true, you know? Question everything. You say that, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I don't have much more questions left, but I finished Rational Fasting book. I started listening when I do my breath work, a mucusless diet healing system and a grape cure. So things are coming clear. Like it connects the dots to me. And also through this working with through MasterFast is like really getting my own answers. But why cooked juice? Why particular?
Again.
Yeah, I know, but I read it on the protocol that it gets into the higher GAN state. But what does that mean? Like,
Higher
why
field.
cook? Yeah, why particularly cooked?
Because it opens up this structure atomically.
What does it mean?
It means it releases its energy. You know, atomic bomb?
Yeah.
The atom releasing its energy. See how much power is in that? So just think of it on a small scale with the grape juice, cooking the grape juice. We are taking it into its higher order, meaning the energy that we are using from it is more on the spirit level than the physicality. Not that the physicality is not powerful, because the juice does purge physically very powerfully. And if you've, I don't know, if, there's few people who've done many raw grape juice fasts, and then they've done master fasts with the cooked juice, right? And there's absolutely no comparison in the power of purging. Absolutely no comparison. There was Gabrielis, who was paralyzed in a skydiving accident. And he was doing two years in a row, he was buying Concord grapes, juicing them, and doing a fast. And then he came to Master Fast in 2015, I think it was, late 2015 or early 2016. And he started Master Fasting. Absolutely night and day difference. And that's, you know, he started getting his feeling back. I seen him do his first swim and his first pull-up.
Yeah, and I feel when I drink that juice, I feel energetically, I feel this method is correct. But my mental was like, and some people like look at me, oh, you drink this cooked full sugary juice, and they kind of mirror to me that part of me that still questions it, even though on a deeper part I know. Well, you know, it's funny how you're like, oh, again, cooked juice.
If it doesn't sing with your belief system, don't do it. It's that simple.
No.
The evidence from what we've experienced and many thousands of experience is night and day difference. So I don't even care anymore about who or where, when, why, and how. But we have the basic understanding of how it works. And you know, I went on for years after my, you know, my first 40-day juice fast was with cooked Concord grape juice. And I shared that, and then I ended up in bed for 2 years. And you know, then going into the raw is law thing, I completely put that out of my head. Completely, I was doing all raw juices all the time, right? And you know, but that memory of what happened in my first one in 1990 stuck with me very strongly. because there's absolutely none of all the other types of fasts I've done that compared with the purging power of the cooked juice. Absolutely no comparison.
How does it like purge? Because the juice opened up atomically to the higher level. How does within the body it helps to purge? And I mean, I'm asking these questions not because I don't believe in the system. I think I do believe, and it's fascinating. I just want to understand from my own well-being, so to speak.
Yeah, to tell you exactly how it is, we have an understanding of it. I have my understanding, but
Yeah, what is your understanding?
exactly what I told you. It opens up the structure atomically, so it releases its energy. It's much more powerful energy. Period.
Ah,
That's the understanding we have. Any more intricacy, depth, details, I don't have them for you, and I don't need them because it works. It works. That's all we know. It works, and it works very powerfully. You know, the cooked juice versus the raw juice. Raw juices, I've seen the challenges with the raw juices, raw juice fast, because I've done many of them myself, a lot of them.
Yeah, it just somehow feels to me that what I understand is that because it has more energy, it has a greater power of supporting body to giving more, and rather like we drink water and we have no energy to really purge, and the grape juice has a higher energy that helps us to gives the body energy that helps to purge.
Everything is energy. Yeah. And everything has cycles of field strength. You know, some things have high field strength, some things have medium field strength, some things have low field strength. So all these different field strengths interchange with each other, have gradients, and so on and so forth. So um, this is the cycles of the universe and nature.
And how come the lemon juice? How did you come up that the lemon juice that activates the grape juice or pineapple? Why those particularly?
It's a different gradient, a different field strength. Like if you try and do a cooked pineapple juice instead of the dark grape juice, you will see that it has nowhere near the power of the dark juices.
But the activation, why with pineapple or lemon?
Because they have different field strengths, so there's a gradient. When there's a gradient, there's field interaction. And when you have field interaction, you have change happening.
The kind of different frequencies, right?
We don't call them frequencies. That's man-made stuff. Just field strength.
I don't even know what the field strength is, but
the field strength is the power of the structure atomically. They call it magravs in plasma science.
Because you've studied plasma science, you most probably understand it much better than I do. So
I have a little understanding. I don't have a lot of understanding of it.
Okay, well, I think it's going to be a journey of exploration for me.
Yeah, just go through the experience and let go of trying to know exactly of who, what, where, when, why, how, because we can believe we know those, and we really don't. We have a basic understanding, but to know exactly, let's look at science generally. Can science produce a blade of grass? Nope. With all the knowledge they have, they can't produce not even a blade of grass from nothing, just like Creator. Science cannot produce anything. Yet science believes it has all the answers.
No, they want us to believe that science has all the answers.
Yeah. And if you look at science in the last whatever amount of decades, it's always changing. So if it was if they had the answer, why does it keep changing? Truth doesn't change. Truth is, consistent. You know, 1 + 1 stays 1 + 1. It doesn't change.
I see. Yeah, so I think I've went through all my questions, and I'm waiting on my herbs to, I had one question. When I was at the water fasting clinic, they said that the fasting should be done in darkness and lying in the bed. So the body has all the energy to purge. And what I've experienced in the couple of days that I fasted, on grape juice, I had lots of energy and I just wanted to do things. And I had just 10 times more energy than I ever had in my life.
Yeah. Yeah, we found the opposite.
Okay.
Less is more.
So even the movement, it supports the purging rather than taking the energy away from the purging.
Yeah, there's going to be times where people go through that they need extra sleep and just give the body extra sleep. No big deal. But when you're up and about, move, use your energy. And, there's days that I got up in deep fast and could barely move. I made myself move. And, within half an hour of movement, boom, energy's restored like nothing before, and go out through the day. So all these people that have these belief systems of fasting, they're stuck onto old paradigms and they don't want to let them go because they believe those are the answers. Whereas we broke through all that and we let everything go that we knew. And we went into new territories with the knowledge and experiences we have. And this is where Masterfast came to be. It didn't, we learned a lot from what people have shared. Arnold Laird was very profound. If you look at some of the other people who promote water fasting, they don't even, especially the natural hygiene, they don't even believe in giving yourself enemas. And
I was thinking about this water clinic that I was like, oh my God, they are so outdated and they have so many patients. And I was like, I wish I could just share with them this knowledge. But then I think they would be like, what? Cook juice? No, that's impossible, because they only give like 100 milliliters 3 times a day juice for people there. And it says it's not a feasting, it's a fasting. So you only get to drink the water.
Yeah, that's why Masterfast is a closed group, private club. We don't want to share it out there. Masterfast is here for those who are ready.
I've experienced that in 2 years. 2 years. It took me 2 years.
Yeah, it's not for out there. It's not for the public. Anybody who everybody who finds Masterfast finds it for a reason, and it's the way it is. When you're seeking for knowledge or a teacher, it will show up.
Yeah. When you are ready, the teacher will show up.
That's
when you are really, really ready, the teacher will disappear.
Ilana, let me see here. Gino, when you bring your hands close together without touching, one feels field energy as open hands get closer to one another without touching. Yep. Do you know what I'm talking about? I'm sure you do. Yeah. Yeah. Especially you rub them and you do that, you can feel the energy. Have you ever played with energy that way?
Yeah. Yeah, I did. I did Reiki training. And
have you ever seen the electrical field coming off your hands, the aura?
I've never seen this out of my hands, but I've seen on some people.
Like it's an amazing electrical field in it, and you can move your hands and it interacts with each other. It's just amazing to watch. There's some beautiful dark nights that you can see that happening. And it's just amazing. It just, and then you, when you see that, you go, yeah, we're not physical beings. We are beings of light. And when I wish everybody could experience it because it's really amazing to see that. And you know, for those stuck in the materialism, that's where they're at. And this is why we are where we are around the globe right now because of materialism and science.
Yeah.
They know best.
And also, what I realized on this lifestyle that I have crazy dreams. Like when I was water fasting, I had the craziest dreams beyond my understanding. I would look forward for the night to see those dreams because I could not believe. And actually, what happens to me, like I fasted those couple days, I didn't dream anything. It was like, oh, I expected to dream. But then when I started eating, I started having this dreams again. And I was like, I look forward for the night, but they're very crazy. So I assume it's part of a detox process, or actually the food is causing that. I'm not yet sure anymore.
The dreams come when you're fasting or when you're eating.
Well, when I did water fast, I had crazy dreams. So I thought when I'll do master fast those couple of days, I will dream again. But I didn't. But when I started eating, then I started dreaming again those crazy dreams. It's almost like the purging process happened after rather than during in terms of dreams.
Yeah, different foods will bring on different dreams for sure. That we know. And
Oh, dreaming. Oh my God, I had this dream the other night. I was dreaming like the slaughter full of animals and like ground beef and huge like buckets. And it was like so disgusting. I woke up and I was like, ugh. And I was like, wow.
yeah, it does happen when we're purging as well, because as we say, as obstructions come to the surface, right? You're re-experiencing that. So yeah, these crazy dreams of many people have experienced that fasting, and then they clear up, and you get wonderful, beautiful dreams.
Hmm. I see.
It always goes back to obstructions. Obstructions cause all kinds of imbalances, and that's where the craziness in the dreams comes from. Um, when balance is restored, you're at peace, you're in harmony and silence, everything is beautiful. No comparison. Um, Food only brings challenges for me in my life. I love eating, but I love fasting way more. You know, we've been eating most of our lives, and we're so also addictive to food and the experiences of socializing with food and so on and so forth. That's a huge thing, and that's what most people cannot let go of. Being into this the materialism of the eating experience. It's very challenging because this is what most people do. That's what their life revolves around: food. In everything we do, food, 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 food. You know, you go out, you eat food. You go to a watch a movie, people eat. You go to a wedding, you eat. You go to a death, you eat. You go. Doesn't matter what you do. You go to somebody's house, you eat. It's always about food. It's everything's about food. Right? At least it is for us in Italians and many other cultures. It's food, 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 food everywhere. So to let that go, that's a big psychic attack on ourselves that most people can't handle. And that's what I've seen because they don't want to comprehend that their whole personality and everything is going to change with a spiritual fasting lifestyle. They just want to have something that's going to fix all their problems and they want to return to their normal life. which was an eating lifestyle. And we've seen that happen so many times. That's why we say, why are we gonna support people 108 days? Most people had horrific times when they went back to food, even though we've seen a miracle restorations and healing happen. And some people are not around anymore because they ate themselves to death. Because this is people with serious imbalances, conditions that, if I eat obstructed foods myself, I know I won't be around in 6 months. I know I won't be around. My body can't handle it. I'm in a very sensitive state from being fasting for so long. So if I go back to eating all obstructive foods, I will not be around in 6 months. This body will cease to function.
Wow, how interesting.
Yeah, well, it is what it is. So I have that understanding, and I choose a fasting lifestyle.
Yeah, I think this is what happened to me as well. Unconsciously, my soul was leading me to it. Because I remember before I fasted for 7 days, when I was eating all the time, I felt so shitty, but I could never pinpoint that it was food until I really let go and experienced what it feels like when you stop eating and what happens when you eat little or less. And I'm like, this is why I came to a master fast after that water fasting experience, because I was like, wow, this is where I was led. I just didn't know consciously. So I really trust in the soul journey and higher self. I guess it's just the mentally you don't understand until some time passes. And I'm like, yeah, this was all right. Well, I think if I would have not found this and I've been eating, my health would have been deteriorating, no matter what I've done, no matter what healing modalities I applied, et cetera. Like you say, it's just kind of an addition.
Yeah, there's, beings that seem like they can eat anything and everything and nothing phases them until they cease to exist. And just, oh, he was healthy as a horse. I don't know how he died.
I can look into my father or my mother, like, it's like at 10 o'clock, they can have a sandwich with a smoked sausage and a butter and a bread and cheese and eat that and wake up next morning and pop some pills and they live. They're like beyond 70, like 75, close to 80. I wonder if they have stronger genes than
Definitely.
No, because if I would eat that kind of sandwich at 10 o'clock in the morning, I don't think I could get up from the bed next day.
Yeah, me too. The older generation is definitely stronger. You can see that clearly. The newer generations are genetically weaker and weaker and weaker. The things that we see in children today are absolutely atrocious in diseases or whatever you want to call imbalances in children's like never before. So yeah, humanity is getting genetically weaker for sure. Our parents and grandparents and great grandparents grew up much closer to nature, and that's why they are built like tanks. A lot of them. A great aunt who just passed away last year. This year, was it this year? She almost was 102, almost reached 103. And her brother, my great uncle, still alive, 97. They don't eat a lot. The people that live to 100 years old do not eat a lot. You'll never see a centurion that eats a lot. But what do they eat? They eat their regular stuff. They eat a little bit of vegetables. They have their pasta. And they have their meats. That's what they eat, but they don't eat a lot of food. They eat small amounts of food. Do they drink a lot of water? Absolutely not.
Yeah, when I remember I was a child, I grew up on the farm and I barely remember us drinking water. Even now through this master fast journey, I remember we were drinking compote. It's like like you make like like you boil some fruits and the water absorbs that and you drink that as drink, you know, as water. The bit of sugar, I remember very rarely we would drink water or from the well. We would take it from the well and drink it like cold from the well.
Yeah, some of the wells are very heavy. It's like putting lead in your stomach. It's just so heavy in minerals. But yeah, it's Christina, the only thing I can suggest is continue going down the path and continue experiencing, and you'll see your answers will come up more and more. Hang on, let me get what's going on here. Oscar, putting hands together is also symbolic of bringing our duality to ones in the time we are doing it. That is also why people pray with hands together. By not putting them together just close to each other, we must feel that energy from ones that naturally pulls us back to where we come from. Just thinking. Interesting. Ilana, when I eat obstructive foods, my dreams are crazy. There you go. As well, you are correct. But when you do a breathing exercise before bed, do it all well, but in a totally different way. It was more out of the body dreams and experiences for me. So yeah, you eat if you haven't eaten flesh in a long time and then you eat flesh, I can assure you you're gonna have weird dreams because that happened to me. Really weird dreams. So the whole thing about eating and fasting is a big struggle with people. Like I said, in this last 30 plus years, I've only seen it getting worse with people not being responsible for their health. That's my view at what's been happening in all these years. People generally not responsible for their health at all. And now it's more clear than ever. If people can't see it, okay, well, they can't see it, but it's clear for me. So, once you decide to take charge of your health, everything changes. Everything changes. All right.
Oh, hi. Hi, everyone. You still going?
Hi, Rana.
Hi. Yeah. So
it's Christina. Yeah. Honestly, the long fast will teach you a lot, but when people aren't ready, which is most people, and they go back to food, all hell breaks loose. You really have to be spiritually and emotionally ready to live a fasting lifestyle, and it will present all your answers and bring balance back to your being like nothing else. I've not seen any eating lifestyle do that. You'll be limited with any diet.
Yeah, I feel there is a great deal of exploration and experience for me here. And on a deeper level, on a soul level, I know this is the right path, and I'll continue with my learning and understanding. And I'm very grateful for your answers and finding time, even when you are with family, to answer them.
Like I said, we don't have all the answers, but you do. You have all your answers.
And it's happening slowly but surely. It's really happening. I'm getting these answers, and I can clearly see that in the synchronicities.
Yeah. With the little we know is how Massive Fast came to be, and it works, and it works very powerfully. What's the word out there for Massive Fast? Well, if you've got a big challenge, go do Massive Fast. That's what the word out there is, because we've seen miracles happen beyond anything. But are people ready to live that lifestyle? Most people aren't. That's what we've seen. It is what it is. When you see somebody healed dramatically and then they go back to a lifestyle where they used to be, what does that tell you? That they're not ready, right? Even though they healed miraculously, they go back to where they used to be. And I remember one person, yeah, you know, I went back to my SAD diet, and it took about 2 years for me to go back to where I was before the fast, after 108 days. They went back completely to where they were. They needed a SAD diet. From SAD to 108 days to SAD.
Oh, but 108 days is a lot. I've been talking to Gabriela, who is like living and loving the lifestyle. She's kind of my mentee, you know, that I came across her through MasterFast. And so she's done 40 days, and she does this periodically. And I was like, 108 days, that's a lot.
It really isn't, Christina. When you're in that state, 100, and when you reach that time, like 100, 108, it feels like nothing. It, honestly, because you feel so amazing.
It's actually it's very easy.
Yeah, it's you're in a whole different field strength state. You cannot experience that with food, from my understanding.
Yeah, it's very easy, but at the same time, very challenging in many other ways. You know, challenging in terms of like breaking the fast is the most challenging part. Because yeah, it's a change in lifestyle, and if you haven't changed your lifestyle in 108 days, yeah, I mean,
Most people don't.
How much can you learn about eating when you fast? You can't. Okay, you can't learn about breaking your fast when you fast. So you have to break your fast in order to learn about breaking the fast.
And that's where the levels come. We fast, we break. We
so
fast, we break.
That's the lifestyle. Unless you go in liquidarian, you're not gonna eat, and then that's another story, you know. But nobody gets into master fast saying I'm gonna be liquidarian from the first one, you know. Maybe after they say, you know what, this is absolutely amazing feeling, and I prefer to do mainly liquids because it feels the best. So, and I would say most people don't do completely. No, I mean, I don't know if there are many people who just, you don't need to be liquidarian to get the benefits, in my opinion. Liquidarian, you can still get the benefits, but doing lots of fasting days and having balance with that, and very few eating days, and when you eat, you know, also intermittent fasting is super important. There are many people who are not doing master fast, but they're intermittent fasting, and of course experiencing benefits. But imagine combining that with the master fast, which is what we recommend. But it's also hard to wrap our heads around it, because our focus has always been the fasting, not the eating as much as fasting. So I believe now it's important for us to start focusing on eating as well as fasting, just as important if we are going to incorporate eating in our lifestyle. So yeah, intermittent fasting is very, very important when we are eating on our eating days. Very important. Otherwise, once you start eating, let's say you start eating in the morning, you're gonna want to eat all day, right or wrong?
Yeah, the more you eat, the more you want to eat.
When you start eating in the afternoon, you want to eat all day. So start in the evening, and then you're not gonna be eating all day.
See, Oscar?
Because you're gonna go to bed, you know?
Ileana, Gino, is there any recipes you can do with aloe plant that you guys do regarding the juice? I don't know. There's many things you can do with aloe plant.
Are there any recipes with that? We don't do so much. We eat it as it is, actually.
Yeah, I just eat it the way it is.
The last time we chopped it and we just had it. It doesn't have taste.
Great for the skin, the hair.
So it's not bad. You know, you can eat it like that. It's just the texture is like jelly. You can see.
Yeah. I can really relate to what Rana said, when I did couple of days, I was like, I cannot anymore eat. I just need couple of days break. And when I started doing, like, I expected what I was like, water fast, no energy, almost feeling like dying. And what I experienced with the grape juice and master fast, I was like telling my boyfriend, I don't want to eat. I don't want to, like, why do we eat? I just want to stay like this. But I was so scared. I was like, I'm going to break it and I'll just eat it because I'll break my fast and then, I'll get my herbs and start again. I was like, I didn't want to eat at all. I felt amazing fasting. So I can really relate to a small experience that I had.
Yeah, food.
The deeper we go, we keep peeling away the layers of onion. We keep peeling and peeling and peeling. And we go to the inner depths of our challenges.
Food is amazing. I mean, I really, I don't know if I ever want, like it came to my mind and I did start long fast with the idea that I want to be liquidarian. I don't want to eat. One thing towards the end of 108 days, that for me, the last one, which was less than 2 months ago, I broke it. One thing that happens towards the end is that we become bored and we want to experience different things.
Become what?
Bored.
Bored. But it goes, I'm sure it will go away after 6 months. Let's say if you do that lifestyle for 6 months, for 1 year, that boredom goes away. But it's, not really bored, but like you want to try different experiences because it's so simple, Yeah, just drinking the juice and dry fasting becomes so simple, so you feel like you want to experience that raspberry that is growing in your backyard, and then when you try it, it tastes absolutely amazing. So it makes you think, do I really want to stop eating that? It's not harmful. So I love food, and I would love to keep eating and fasting, of course, fasting much more. But what I want to focus on, for me, my experiences so far, 6 years, and before that, raw food, 9, so altogether 9. I would love to eat local, preferably from my backyard, if I can grow it and enjoy it. Just love it. Just love it. Keep working, helping the soil, helping it become as healthy as possible, nourishing it, and loving loving the plants and enjoying the fruits of the plants. That I feel like is amazing. Why would I ever want to deprive myself of this? With intermittent fasting and master fast the other days, the intermittent fasting, I like to do it dry, and then either drink at the end of the day, or like we're doing it 12 days of 12 hours a day, right? That's intermittent fasting of dry, right? And when we eat, I feel intermittent fasting dry is really better than drinking for eating, because it helps control. I think it gives you more control with dry, right? When you intermittent dry and then eat like to whatever, one meal, or just fruits, and maybe if you want a salad after that. I would say later in the day. Most people who do intermittent fasting, they eat later in the day, right? Who really benefit from it, do it later, eat later in the day.
Yeah,
not in the afternoon.
The emotions for most people have started happening in the late afternoon or evening.
Yeah. And this is what also Dr. Buteyko was saying. He was with all his patients. He removed the breakfast and he said people not supposed to eat breakfast. Like the only meals, and he only ate in the evening around like 4, 6 o'clock. One meal.
Was into skipping breakfast.
Yeah. You break your fast as late in the morning or early afternoon as you can.
Yeah. Or if you're having, dinner with family, then have dinner with family in the evening, like whenever their time is. you know, like if you're working all day and then you're having dinner with the family, because that's usually the meal that you share with the family. So it's a good time.
And why do you know the emotions in the afternoon? You said the most of the emotions are in the afternoon.
Why? Yeah, afternoon, late afternoon to evening. I don't know why, but that's what we've experienced with everybody. That's where they come out the most.
Well, you're working all day.
Busy,
You know?
then you're at
You're
night
busy, and then
by yourself.
You rest. You're
Nothing
resting,
to do.
or with the family, you know, like with the family, or you're resting. You know, you finished work, right? So now, okay, what do I do? Might as well experience something. And that's the time that
So be ready.
people eat, you know, together.
Yeah, kind of to relax and to enjoy something and
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you enjoying BC? It's beautiful.
I'm in love. I keep posting on my Facebook and Instagram how I'm in love with you see I meditate a lot, like every day. That's part of my daily routine and breath work. And I've been meditating on this experience that I've lived in Montreal. And I do a lot of past life regressions with clients, and I know that a lot of people have experience of living in prison, but actual prison. And for me, I was like, I never lived in a prison, right? But actually living in Montreal, the experience feels like that to me. It was such a dark night of the soul. It was like almost like a caterpillar stage where it was like so heavy, and now it feels like I am just like a butterfly. I'm blooming, and there are fruits and flowers here and seaside, and it's really, really beautiful.
Enjoy it. Today we remembered you. We went, we did a little hike, and we saw some berries, wild berries. We remembered you talking about blackberries in BC, you know, when you go hiking and you see all these blackberries. That's amazing.
It's crazy. Like I'll post a picture. Like I took some pictures, how much blackberries there are. Like I'm planning on making a jam, but I picked.
Oh wow, how beautiful. Yeah, did you see all these blackberries? Oh, hold on. You can't hear us? You're muted, Christina.
No, something very loud.
Oh. I didn't have
It's still loud?
maybe put the microphone.
Yeah, something happened on the computer. I wasn't hearing you well, and then it just broke.
I turned the microphone up because she said she can't hear us. Yeah, this is my laptop, so it's I don't know, the microphone may not be that great.
Yeah, so we picked like these ones of blackberries to make a jam with lemon juice.
Awesome.
And then no, it's super nice. So many everywhere. I took pictures. I'll post on the on Master.
Yeah, post them.
Oh, and guys, I wanted to ask you the corn. I was Googling, we have a lot of fresh corn now, and I love it. And is it a vegetable or is it a grain? And do you recommend it on Master Fast Lifestyle or no?
What was it?
The corn. Corn
Corn?
on the top.
Corn.
Oh, corn. Yeah, corn is actually a grass.
So is it a good to eat or not? Would you recommend?
I don't. Corn is okay once in a while. You know, if you look at grass, you know, when it goes to seed.
Yeah.
You know, the long grass when it goes to seed. Look at the seed. What it looks like. It looks like a baby corn. So corn is just a big grass.
I see.
It's been manipulated and everything by humans for many years. But you know, I'll have corn once in a while. Let's eat it raw. When you eat,
So, no, I
when you
love
eat it
corn.
raw, you can digest it easily. When you cook it, it doesn't digest very well.
Does it grow in BC?
Yeah, I found the local farms. I went for I was like, I don't want to shop at the grocery. So I was like, I need to find farms. I took the car and I went up into the villages, and I found like organic farms. Oh, and they have so many goodies there. Blueberries and figs.
That's
And,
grocery store.
oh yeah, and so cheap also. I was like, wow. I'm doing master fasting lifestyle and I all have this abundance now. But okay, I'll just enjoy it more when I'm eating.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
don't see no problem with corn myself. You know, there's a lot of genetically modified corns out there, but I don't think from when I did the research, there was those for the edible sweet corn and stuff, and the peaches and cream. I don't think those were genetically modified from what I remember. I don't know if it's changed now, but if it's organic, it's not supposed to be genetically modified.
Yeah. I always check. I ask, is it organic? Is it
I mean, it
genetic?
tastes amazing. We eat it
Oh,
raw.
yeah.
We love it raw, either on a salad or as it is just, or you can barbecue it. You can do a lot of things. Steam it. But I love it raw. Raw is nice.
Yeah.
And the corn silk, you can collect. I collect the corn silk. I either put it in the teapot for the kidney tea, or I freeze it for the future. You know, yeah, corn silk is good for the kidneys.
Corn,
Corn
Silk.
silk.
The silk.
So you know when you peel the corn, and towards the hair.
The hair.
The silk. It's called corn silk.
I had a spiritual teacher, and he was telling, like, it was a training, and he said to people, eat corn because native peoples believed that the corn is a sacred plant, and its silk, when you eat it energetically, the silk goes into your subconscious mind and pulls out the negative energies and impurities and releases.
There you go. Put it in your tea.
So it's interesting. I wanted to share because it came up, and I remember I was eating nachos, a lot of nachos.
Nachos. Wow, good stuff.
Well, I didn't know about Master Fast, but I knew about this silk that goes and pulls out negative energy. So I was like, I'll eat nachos.
Yeah,
So
fill yourself up with nachos, and then the corn will take care of you. Right? This is the mentality of us humans.
No, it's lack of information, you know, like I just didn't know, right? So
yeah, we don't know a lot of things, so
at least when you know, you can choose. I say, well, I know, but I don't care, and I'll continue eating, or I know and I'll make better choices. I think if children would be taught things who we really are at school, then at least later in life they can say, well, I don't care, I don't believe in that, and I choose different paths. But when we're not taught and programmed in a ways, and then we make mistakes over and over again, and if we are lucky to learn right things, then we are lucky. But if not, then this is where you say, Gino, this is where we are with the world right now.
Crazy times. Big revelations are upon us.
Yeah, it's interesting times. That's for sure.
We will see, more and more of evil being revealed as time goes on, because evil cannot function without making mistakes. It's impossible. It always makes mistakes and reveals itself.
Yeah. Ooh, I think I gotta go to bed. I had a cold hydrotherapy yesterday, and today I have a diarrhea. I think I'm just cleansing something really.
Yeah, that happens.
I need to excuse myself. So if you
We're almost done.
Yeah.
Are we almost done? Are there more questions?
If you finish the call, you finish the call, but I'm so grateful and I have to really run.
Yeah, go ahead. Don't.
Take care, sweetheart.
So, right, folks. What time are we at? 10:30? I guess we can end it for today. We go back to what we were doing. Thank you so much for joining. And we'll see you next Wednesday. See you on the
Thank you.
page.
Thank you, everyone.
Keep the plasma love always flowing.
Thank you, Barbara, Christina,
Don't let nothing stand in your way
Oscar.
to be who you want to be the change. Keep the plasma love going, flowing. Ciao, ciao.